Hey boys and girls, thanks for joining me for our math lesson today. I'm so excited to teach you about centimeters. Now, you guys have all seen these types of rulers before, right? Normally at school, we're focusing on the top part, which we know is inches, right? We know that inches go across the top, and in 12 inches makes 1 foot, or about the length of a ruler. Well, today we're going to learn about these little numbers on the bottom. Those little numbers are called centimeters. Say it with me, centimeter. And you might be asking, well, why are we using centimeters? Why wouldn't we just use inches? Well, the cool thing about centimeters is that 100 centimeters makes as long as a meter stick. I don't have a meter stick here with me, so I'm going to use 3 rulers because 3 rulers or 3 feet is about the same size as 1 meter. And remember, 100 centimeters is about 1 meter. So let's practice our measuring, shall we? Let's start with an easy one. A pen. So remember, I'm measuring with centimeters, so I need to be at the bottom. I have this blue paint over here to remind me that this is the side that I need to start on, where it's at 0. And I need to line up the end of my pen just where the line starts. Do you see how the line here starts right there? On some other rulers, like this one, you can see that the line for 0 starts a little bit past the edge of the ruler. It's really important that if you are measuring something, you are starting at that first dash, not at the end of the ruler, but on that first dash. Okay? So I'm going to line up to my first dash, and you can see that my pen is about 14.5 centimeters, right? We learned about halves when we talked about fractions. So we can tell that this line is 14 centimeters, this line is 15. It wasn't quite there, it was right in between at 14.5. Pretty easy, right? Let's get a little bit trickier. What if I have to measure something round, like this little dish? How would I measure that in centimeters? It's easy, don't you worry. What you're going to do is you're going to measure it across. So you're going to start your centimeters right here, okay, and measure all the way across. We can see that this dish is about 9 centimeters long, right? It's 9 centimeters across. In geometry, when you get to this in older grades, you'll learn that that's called the diameter, right? But you'll learn about that when you get older, okay? Let's get a little bit trickier. What if I wanted to measure this piece of string? Seems easy enough, right? I just put it on the edge here, and I measure it across, and I can see that it is about 28 centimeters. Well, what if my string looks like this? Then how long is it? Did the length change just because I bent it a little bit? If I unfold it, it is still 28 centimeters. Right? So no matter how twisted my string gets, when I pull it straight, it's still the same length. Now let's talk about some other things that we can measure with, right? Let's say I need to measure something way bigger than would fit on my ruler. Let's say I need to measure this book. Whoosh! Well, if I hold up my ruler to it, you can see that my ruler doesn't measure the whole thing. So I need something a little longer. I'm going to use a tape measure. Okay, these are pretty cool. You might have seen your parents use these, right? This one has inches and, oops, upside down, inches and centimeters on the bottom, right? We can see inches here and centimeters here. It says feet and it says M, right? Because that's going to mean meters. So if I wanted to measure how wide this book is, I would hook my little end on there, and we could see that it is about, and again, this one's a little tricky because it starts with 20. We have a 20. It's about 29 centimeters. So that's how we use a little tape measure. Well, what about this one? This is what we call a fabric tape measure. You can see on the back, we have the smaller units, which are centimeters. Let's say I wanted to measure my dog, Betty. Let's say I want to make her a collar, but I don't know how long her neck is. Well, that's why I would need something like this, right? I can't really measure her neck with a ruler, right? It doesn't go all the way around. It's flat. So what I need to do is I need to use this tape measure to measure all the way around. I'm going to hold one side here. I'm going to put it around to measure. You can see it's all the way around. Then I'm just going to put my finger right where it ends, right here. And let's see, Betty's collar should be 75 centimeters long. Pretty cool, right? I hope that you guys learned a lot about centimeters. So now what you're going to go do is you're going to go on Seesaw and you're going to work on the workbook pages that I just taught you about learning about centimeters.